Hey guys, this is Will here. I've got Tim with me. Sorry for the delay today. We were hitting some significant technical issues, but I think we've got everything resolved now. Today, you are here with us. It is Dynasty in 30. We are a Fantasy Now Plus show brought to you courtesy of Finns Talk Sports Network. You can catch this on the Fantasy Now Plus YouTube or on Finns Talk Sports Extra. Tim, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm hanging in there. It is crazy as all heck in my house today. I am hosting my 10-year-old's first ever fantasy draft. So I had 11 10-year-olds running around yelling player names without knowing who they were, what teams they were on. It's been something.
That sounds chaotic, but
yeah,
gotta start them early.
Yep, that's exactly it. So we'll see how that goes. I think they've still got about half their draft left to go. We sent a couple of the kids home that had some prior commitments, so we'll see if we can get that wrapped up before the season starts. But I'm sure anyone watching this kind of understands trying to get in a last-minute draft. So,
oh yeah.
Tim, I know this is heavy draft weekend. Do you have any redraft drafts that you're up to this weekend?
I've got my home league draft tomorrow.
Okay.
It's in year 7 or 8 at this point. It's an auction keeper league.
Okay.
So we each get one keeper at 150% of last year's auction value.
Gotcha. Okay, escalating prices. Yep.
Yep.
Nice.
Can only keep them for the 1 year, and then they go back in the pool. So
all right.
It's all about finding some sleepers that blow up and are high draft capital next year.
Exactly.
It's also 2 quarterback, not super flex.
Okay. So specifically 2 QB, not
the quarterback market is not fun.
No, I believe it. How many teams are in it?
12.
Okay, so you're having 24 starting QBs every week. Yeah.
Yep.
That without every team can't even get a third starting QB. Okay.
Yep.
That is something. Well, today on Dynasty in 30, you guys, with the season starting, it is important to understand where your roster is at. So that is what we are going to talk about. It is, do you tank early or do you play to win now? We'll be right back after this intro.
You're watching Dynasty in 30, only on Fantasy Now Plus.
Awesome. So guys, if you are watching this, welcome to draft weekend. For anyone who does still have drafts going on, don't forget to head to the website, fantasynowplus.com. My blood, sweat, and way too many tears is out on the website. Our ultimate draft guide, it has write-ups for all 32 teams, blurbs for every fantasy relevant player that you're going to find, sleepers, strategies, anything you want, you name it, it's out there. Go check it out and then get back to me and tell me what I did wrong. So I know there's plenty. So specifically on Dynasty, though, rookie drafts should be wrapped up at this point, or should at least be finishing. I know I think I've got 1 or 2 still dragging. We're trying to drag it across the finish line, get a hold of people that have just been missing in action. The first thing that I do every year, though, I always take a very close look at my roster compared to the rest of the league, because I want to say, do I even have a chance of competing this year? Like how much do I need to go right? Is this, a situation where I need to hit 3 different sleepers and get some injury luck and all that? One of my biggest pet peeves, I guess, from watching different leagues is seeing these people come in that just don't have a chance to compete and then try and buy pieces to compete to like catch up to the actual contenders.
Yeah.
It's just not a winning strategy in my mind. You end up giving away your future capital. When you get to this point, the players for the season are already, I mean, this is as expensive as they're going to get, because if you buy them now, you're going to get all 17 weeks of production. If you wait a little bit into the season, you can get that discount a little bit off of, maybe they had a down week, people start getting a little bit cheaper. Or you can say, hey, we're partway through the season, I'm not getting them for the full season. So if they retire next year, I'm only getting, 10 games, 11 games instead of the full set. I hate buying players to try and get to a contending status.
Yep.
If I have a roster that I feel like, okay, I am legitimately one of the top 3 or 4 teams here. At that point, then I'll look at trying to consolidate, I guess, my roster value, if you want to say. I don't know if you had a chance to read my article about the Hoberman sphere. That's the ball that expands and contracts. Contracting all of that value into your starting lineup.
Yeah.
That's kind of move number 1 for me. So in season, that's what I'm looking to do. I want to get, if I'm competing, if I have, it's a start 8, start 9, whatever, and I have 13 or 14 startable players, I'm going to the end of that and I'm saying, okay, 13 and 14, what can I get for this combination to then boost my starting lineup? And really that's where I start every season. Do you have any specific rituals when you kind of get in, you flip that from off season into actual in-season management? What do you look for? What are you starting to do?
It definitely depends on the league size. For me, the shallower the league, the less managers there are in the league, the less worried I am about, going and finding that 7th round rookie in the NFL draft that slipped through the rookie draft and I just have to get him on my taxi. In a 8-man, 10-man league, they're probably never going to hit your lineup anyways, unless you're trying to be bad. So for 12-man leagues and up, it's definitely more when the draft finishes, I'm in the position of, immediately looking at my roster. Can I move anyone to IR? It depends when your rookie draft is. The later it is, the better chance you have at moving someone into the IR spot. But early on, you're kind of everyone's just questionable and there's nothing you can do about it. But I'll free up spots if I can that way. I'll check my taxi squad and see, is there any room available? Do I have any guys that have aged out? Do I have any guys that are just flat out not important? Did my 7th round rookie running back from last year get replaced by a new one this year? He's probably
that would never happen, Tim. Your 7th round running backs always climb the depth chart, don't they?
Yeah, like Bill.
Yeah.
Everyone's Bill.
Oh.
But yeah, I think I'm kind of in the same boat of you. And I think we've talked about this before on this show, of being in the middle of your league is just not productive. Could you, in theory, eke out a championship by luck? Sure. If you want to play your league that way, that's up to you. But that doesn't sound like a fun time to me. That sounds stressful. So yeah, it's definitely taking stock of the roster. Am I in the top 3 to 4? Is there no defined top tier? This is usually true of startups. You're not going to have the team right off the bat unless they just went absolutely crazy and got some really good deals in the startup. But if it's a startup and I drafted what I deem to be a balanced team, I'm probably not making moves year 1 because everyone's kind of in the same boat and I kind of just want to see how things play out. But yeah, if I'm trying to tank and I've got Keenan Allen on my roster, or I don't know why I would have kept Amari Cooper to this point, but if he's still lingering around there, I'm looking for thirds, maybe contenders late seconds, but they probably won't give that up. Just going and getting value that can rise in value, in rookie picks or young players. And I'm trying to get rid of production off my team for sure.
Yeah. Yep. I'm with you. Actually, you bring up a great point there that I've totally slipped my mind to mention. Understanding the layout of the league. I have a few leagues where I would say I'm probably the second or third best team in the league in terms of competing this year. Problem is, the first team is like head and shoulders above. They were the ones that like hit on Puka Nakua and just have seemed to hit every rookie pick where it's like they now have Chase and Jefferson and Nakua and they've got Gibbs. And I mean, the rosters are just stacked where for them to lose the league, they literally have to just have the worst injury luck or just have the worst luck in week like 15 where they get eliminated. Those are situations where I'm probably not going to be selling future capital. I'm probably going to be looking at that point in trying to extend my window. So I'm not necessarily selling my production, but if I can move to equivalent assets that are a little bit younger, that's really what I'm trying to do. So when you get a situation where you've got like Nico Collins or AJ Brown, that's when I'm trying to say, okay, can I pivot down to maybe not down, maybe pivot up to Puka Nakua and just get a little bit younger by an extra year or two? Because we know that Nico Collins and AJ Brown are going to produce. They're two of the best receivers in the game right now. I think AJ Brown's 28 now. He's getting very, very close to that disgusting 3 that for some, dynasty managers hate, even though people like Mike Evans keep chugging along. So I'm watching that. Like Nico's still, I think, 26. So he's probably still in that like solid range. But if I've got guys like a Devontae Adams, aging guy that produces, or I mentioned Mike Evans, another good example. Like this is a piece I am targeting someone that I guess the common term would be pretenders. They think they're contending, but they really aren't.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely targeting them, trying to get their picks for next year with the expectation that they will be overconfident. They're going to be valuing their picks as late picks. And in reality, like it's much more likely to be a mid-round pick, which, it's only a couple spots, but it does end up adding up if you can consistently guess correctly there. But yeah, the teams that are just absolutely stacked. I mean, I hate to say like just give up, but like don't put yourself through the pain of coming in second.
Yeah.
Like don't work that hard just to finish second.
Yeah.
Little bit of Ricky Bobby. If you ain't first, you're last.
I do have a fun strategy I do use for those teams though.
Okay.
I try to poison pill them with the Mike Evans, with the Tyreek Hill, with the Devontae Adams, and I try and get their future firsts. They don't need these guys at all, but in that position, sometimes they just really want to feel cozy and they really want to be like, oh no, if Puka goes down, then I'm just going to put Mike Evans in my starting lineup instead. And so, even though that first is probably not worth very much, the idea is you're trying to suck out their capital so that they can't move off of what they have. If they want to down tier, like that's great. That's helpful for you. So you want to try and force them to down tier if they want depth. They won't always take it, but if I'm in the middle, if I'm a rebuilder, even if I'm in second, if I have AJ Brown, can I go get their late first and Tet or Travis Hunter? Because they probably have them. They probably were like, yeah, I've got 4 firsts this year. I'm just going to take all the fun players. Or can I go get, Josh Downs first and like a mid-tier running back or something like that? Like, it's not fun, but if you're very certainly in second, like that's no better than very certainly in 12th. It's arguably worse because you can't really fix it.
I think the only argument I've got for it is like in some leagues, the payout, like at least you get 3 times your money back, something like that. So it can buy you a couple years to kind of tread water. But yeah, the way that I play, I'm looking to win or get the first pick. If I finish middle of the pack, if I squeak into the playoffs, like I have failed. That is a lost season for me. As much as that, sounds a little bit strict, it's just, I like to win. No one likes to hear your stories of, oh yeah, in 2022, I finished third. Yeah. Pretty good, right? No, they want, you be able to talk about championships or be like, nah, I was rebuilding. Like, no one cares if you finished third, fourth, fifth, whatever. So my big thing then, if we do decide we're rebuilding, then my ultimate goal, I want to be the first player to make a big move every season. I don't know about you, but it is the worst feeling in the world when I know I'm rebuilding and you get that alert on your phone. You're checking it. You're like, a trade has been completed. Oh, was that one of mine? Go out. Nope. It was another rebuilder selling off their capital. But they don't ask for enough. And then that sets the market. And so all of a sudden your assets that you thought you were planning to sell are, get devalued 20% because someone didn't ask for enough in return for their productive pieces. So my goal is always like, I don't even care. It doesn't have to be like the top tier player. I just need the first like person you're putting in your starting lineup. I want to set the price. I want to set the market and say, all right, you want a wide receiver 2? It's going to cost you at least a second. Like, I don't want to see that go for a third or, even 2/3 because, the odds of hitting on your third round picks, not so great. I'm pushing to get seconds and firsts where I can. At some point, obviously the teams that have firsts and seconds don't want to give them up. And so at some point I'll settle for multiple thirds and fourths and look to try and get the Bill Krosky Merritts, the Torrey Hortons, the guys that rise through training camp, get them on your roster before all of the camp reports have come out and before people have really been paying attention to draft them. You can really get a lot of profit there, frankly, because even if you're a rebuilder, I think you could, there are definitely leagues where Torrey Horton's going for a second now. And he was getting picked at the 4-5 turn earlier in the season. So, if you do that 2 or 3 times a year, that's a lot of value that you're just stacking. And when you get your second round pick off of that, you're just pushing the value forward. You don't even have to necessarily be right about the player. They haven't played it down yet, but we're still seeing trades like that go through. That said, those are usually not the players I'm looking to flip at first. I don't know about you. I like to see what my picks are going to turn into generally. If I get an offer that I can't turn down, fine. But I want to see what I have in Bill Krosky Merritt. I want to see what I have in Torrey Horton. I want to see, I know Woody Marks is a future Pro Bowler, Taj Brooks, future Pro Bowler. That's just, again, Harold Fannin, the tight end one for the next 10 years running. And if you doubt me, just wait. It's coming. But what I'm really trying to do, I don't know. Have you heard the term roster clogger? Yeah. Those are who I'm getting rid of. It's the guys who had a, disappointing rookie year that gave no indication that they're going to be difference makers. So, we're not talking a Marvin Harrison Jr. that had a disappointing rookie year. he was an elite level prospect. So, we're expecting, hey, maybe that was just kind of towards the bottom of his range. Expect that big jump in year 2. We'll see where he is. But guys like Xavier Legette and Keon Coleman, who were kind of like those borderline, like, are they really worth a first prospects? It's like, okay, I mean, they should have opportunity. They certainly played enough last year, but I mean, they didn't do a ton with it. I'm not sold on those guys. And I mean, if you look into the advanced metrics, they didn't jump out anywhere. Like, it wasn't just, oh, they just didn't get used enough kind of thing. It was like, they got used. They just weren't that good at it. So those are the guys I'm trying to sell. I'm trying to get those people who still remember that, oh yeah, Legette was a first round player last year. And oh yeah, Keon Coleman, he's the Bills wide receiver 1, even though Shakir is going to lead the team in targets, receptions, and catches and yards. Like, they see that outside receiver and they see the depth chart and they're like, I'm going for that. And those are the trades I'm looking for. I want to get those players off my roster. I want to get I'm thinking like running back 2s that, like, they put up solid production. I mean, James Conner's a little bit old to kind of fit into this because I feel like everyone's a little bit worried about him at this age, even though he's got a role locked down. But those are the guys. I want to get that production off my roster because we know who those older players are that are going to produce. Like, you know who they are. There's no way that James Conner is going to come in, run for 1,600 yards, put up 10 plus touchdowns, and all of a sudden be around 5-6 startup pick next year. Like, it's not going to happen. He's not going to jump in value. So what his value is, get that, get your future capital value, and then leave other people holding the bag when someone like James Conner eventually breaks down. It may not be this year. Okay, like, fair enough. He may have a good year this year. I kind of expect him to. I think they're going to try and pound the ball in Arizona. And frankly, if you're competing, I think he's one of those guys that you can kind of go get cheaper because of his age. But I don't want him on my roster if I'm rebuilding, because I don't want to take that production on, hurt my draft pick, and like just get lost in the middle. So I would be much more inclined to take shots on kind of the rookie receivers that have a chance. The Luther Burdens that are like, we haven't heard a ton out of camp. Like, we've heard he's flashed, but then you look at Olamide Zaccheaus is running with the starters in 3 wide receiver sets. Like, Burden is not going to start out the gate hot. It's just not going to happen. You need to be patient with a guy like that. But he was a really good prospect. He's the kind of guy that I'm going to bet on. So I'm going to wait a week or 2 into the season and try and flip my productive players for players like that who just haven't gotten their opportunity yet. I'm trying to think. Do you have other examples of players like that you'd be looking to target, of guys that aren't going to necessarily start right away? Like, we know that Genty's going to come in and start going gangbusters. Hampton is going to start. We'll see if Najee's even available for week 1. But who else are you targeting this year?
There's a couple second-round receivers that have had veterans added to their rooms in the last month. Jack Besh and Trey Harris. They're probably not going to start off well. They may not even play to start off. But they do have second-round draft capital. And, like you said with Xavier Legette, like, could he break out in year 2? I suppose. But it seems unlikely. Him, I'm a little more willing to wait on, especially with Coker just going on IR today. Like, he is the number 2 option and there's no one else. Bryce Young was absolutely putrid for most of last year, but when he was good, Legette was hurt. So we haven't really seen like healthy Legette with competent Bryce Young. So that I'm willing to take the shot on. Keon Coleman, I mean, he has Josh Allen. You can't get better, really. Like, I'm more than willing to move him for, Trey Harris and see if I can get something on top of it, a third, a second, just kind of depending on who the other manager is and what their roster looks like.
Yep.
There's plenty of running backs in this class that have talent, but they just kind of ended up in situations where they basically need an injury to produce. DJ Giddens is never going to touch the field unless Jonathan Taylor is hurt, but when he does touch the field, I think he'll be good.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would say that's the exact type of guy I think that I'm looking for as well. I mean, I'll also look at, honestly, someone like Coker was really going to be my go-to this year. I'll admit
he's even cheaper now
already.
Yeah. I mean, he's even cheaper now.
Yeah.
He's on IR, so you can go probably get him for like 2/3 or
what's
just
hilarious. Like I got an offer for him earlier this morning for a fourth, and I looked at it. I'm just like, but like, I'm not even going to consider that. I'm not going to counter. Like, yeah. I understand I'm way higher than market on Coker. I think Matt Harmon with reception perception likes Coker a lot. Yeah. Kind of views him as a potential future power slot. Just high volume, short ADOT catch monster. And I mean, frankly, you look at his trajectory right now, he just got Adam Thielen traded. They cut Hunter Renfrow. Like, they like this guy a lot.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's honestly, I view this as it's Tetaroa McMillan. They've got Xavier Legette, but I don't see a world where he becomes a difference maker. I think he's one of those guys that, like, even if he hits, what's his ceiling? Wide receiver 2 production, maybe? Even that might be pushing it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Do you see any way that he becomes a wide receiver 1?
I mean, not a wide receiver 1. It's really just trying to figure out the extent of is his ceiling a flex play, or is his ceiling a legitimate, like, wide receiver 2, like 13 through 24 type of guy? Like, it's hard to tell. He had a up and down injury riddled rookie season on a terrible offense. So
yeah,
but Coker was in the same position and produced better. Yeah. So, like,
yeah, I think that's really what I'm looking for is like, if I don't see that these guys could develop into difference makers, I just don't care.
Yeah.
Like, they're just commodities that I can use to get assets that could be difference makers. And, like, you can go into the Simpsons gif of, like, well, hang on, Marge. We could take the boat, but that's just a boat. But what about the mystery box? It could be anything. It could even be a boat.
Even a
like
boat.
You can get me there. Like, I know that I kind of sound like that, but if they're not going to be a difference maker, I don't care, because even if could be a boat, like, all of these boats that we're talking about are more like little dinghies that are going to sink half the time anyway. I mean, this is not a high value asset. It's production you can go out and get. I mean, what? You could probably replace Legette's production or Coleman's production by going out and spending 2/3 on a pair of kind of flex-worthy receivers and playing the matchups throughout the year.
Yeah.
That's the type of value they have to me, is like, it's not anything worth holding on to if I can get anyone to pay, that future second, or if I can down tier to one of the guys that's in a bad situation, but that I like the talent. I mean, we mentioned Josh Downs earlier. Great example. Everyone is just hating on the Indianapolis passing game because of their QB situation. Talented players will rise to the top, period. Yeah. Like, I mean, there are examples of some players that just get stuck on terrible teams forever. but eventually, more than likely, they'll bring in someone competent, and those players are going to shine. So I'm going out and getting Josh Downs. And a lot of times, like, you can go get Josh Downs plus for Keon Coleman right now.
Yeah.
And it's like, I have Josh Downs. I would take Josh Downs straight up with Keon Coleman. I'm trying to think of like Rashid Shaheed, I think, is another one that's very undervalued. I mean, through 4 weeks last year, he was actually ahead of Chris Olave when they were both playing. I know his QB situation is worse than bad. I don't know how else to put it, but I mean, wide receivers don't only play for a year. So he'll have another quarterback next year. Maybe he gets traded. Like, he'll get a better situation at some point. And I want to have those guys that can be difference makers in the right situation.
Yeah.
Like, who do you have any players that you know that you are just way higher on market on for like a reason like that? That it's not that they're necessarily going to produce now, but you're like, I see the vision with them.
I mean, honestly, a guy you brought up earlier, Harold Fannin. I believe in the talent. I mean, this is like the best tight end prospect from a production standpoint we've ever seen. He's been getting good reviews in camp. He's been running with the starters for a good portion of it. Like, he sat out a preseason game.
Joe Flacco. Old crusty man, Joel Flacco.
Yep.
He has no value.
I know. And like, it would really suck if the Browns, I don't know, got the number 1 overall pick next year. They have 2 first-round picks, remember? They have the Travis Hunter trade pick as well. Like, it would really suck if Archie Manning came out next year and happened to be on the Browns. You know, David Njoku is an impending free agent. Like, would just really suck. But there's no way that Fannin can pay that off, right?
Yep.
Like,
nope.
He's the backup tight end.
That's the thing. In Dynasty, you got to look like 1 to 2 years in advance and see, like, honestly, like, where is the honest trajectory? Are they actually in a position to improve, or have they are who they are?
Yeah.
Like, a player that I think gets not enough respect, Jaden Reed on the Packers. And again, this is another guy who I think they just announced he's got a Jones fracture.
Yeah.
So his value coming down a little bit. He is a super efficient wide receiver. Everyone is upset because of his situation, because the Green Bay Packers don't know how to run a wide receiver room. I get it, but he's either not going to be with the Packers forever, or they're going to figure out that they need him on the field. Because right now he only plays in 3 wide receiver sets. I mean, are they really going to run out Romeo Dubs in front of him all season?
You say that, but they seem
okay, but if they do that, then are they really going to re-sign Jaden Reed at the end of his rookie deal? I mean, that's the thing. They'll realize what they have and they'll play him, or they don't know what they have and he'll go somewhere else and excel because he'll be able to choose in free agency where he signs. Yeah. Those are the types of players. I want players who have flashed and shown their potential. I want to have the guys who can take legitimate jumps year to year. So with Jaden Reed, do I think it's likely that he's going to increase in value a ton? Not necessarily. But if they do make that realization that he's either their best or now second best, depending on how you view Matthew Golden, and he should be on the field in 2 wide receiver sets, I mean, all of a sudden he's not running 350 routes a year. He's running 500.
Yep.
I mean, that's a huge difference. Those are the types of scenarios that I'm trying to find without getting injured. And like I said, he's got an injury. I know the production might not be there this year, but if he's healthy, we know he produces. He's been over 2 yards per route run both years since he joined the league. Only great players do that. He's going to be a great player. It's just whether or not it's for the Packers. So we'll see. I really struggle because then you get the people who get stuck on situation like that, but on the flip side. So look at someone like a Chuba Hubbard, let's say. I mean, good NFL player. Like, guy has done everything they have asked.
Yep.
He's, solid running back too. What else can he do to increase his value? I mean, this is who he is. We know who he is now. So he's a guy. I'm not going to go out and buy Chuba Hubbard at market because the only place he's got to go is down. If he gets injured, like, he's just going to drop like a stone. If I'm trying to think, like, he already got a good target share last year and was just terribly inefficient with it.
Yep.
Like, if my memory serves, I think he was under 1 yard per route run.
Yeah.
I mean, just absurdly inefficient. There's no way he's going to continue to get that passing work. Like, they drafted Trevor Etienne.
Yeah. And signed Rico Dowdle.
Yeah, like they brought in things to fill that hole on their team. That's what they are. Looks like we've got a question here. Tim, I want to know your take on this. Best rookie tight end, Warren or Loveland?
Harold Fannin. I'm just kidding. He is my 3, and it's closer than you would think. But I have waffled back and forth on these two all year. I'll think that I'm firmly in the Loveland camp, and then I hear someone else I respect just be like, no, Warren's like the best prospect since, he could be Bowers 2.0. Yeah. I'm like, well, Bowers 2.0 sounds good. But then I'm like, he couldn't even beat out Brenton Strange at Penn State. Like, is he really that good?
I need to, Tyler, I apologize if you see this. I am not calling you the next Kyle Pitts. I promise. Like, I believe in you. I will tell you, honestly, my answer to this is yes.
Yeah, take one of them.
I honestly, and what's funny is I actually do. I have a tier of 3. I think it's Warren, Loveland, and it's Harold Fannin. If you need immediate production this year, I mean, Warren's going to have less competition.
Yeah.
So I would go with him if you need a tight end to fill your starting tight end spot this year. If you need the best long-term option, it's probably Colston Loveland. The NFL is generally efficient when it comes to draft capital. So the fact that he got taken ahead of Warren and went to an offensive-minded head coach in Ben Johnson, that matters to me.
Yeah.
And then you got Harold Fannin, who, if you don't want to spend for Warren or Loveland, you can get pretty much the same player at 75% of the cost, if that.
He's usually a 3rd round pick in most drafts.
I feel a little bit bad. I probably overpaid for him all rookie draft season because I was taking him end of the second, but I was not going to miss.
Yeah.
He was my guy. So
yeah. If I had to vote, I would say Loveland.
Sure.
His downfield profile is a little bit better than Warren's. Anyone can get manufactured touches around the line of scrimmage. That's kind of more of a play caller's decision versus an actual skill set. But Loveland definitely seems to be better at, beating man, getting into those soft middles of the field, and really being able to beat zone as well. And he's, I think, 3 years younger, maybe 2 years younger. So yeah, I like.
It adds up. So we've talked quite a bit about kind of rebuilding strategy. The players that we're trying to get rid of, the players that we're trying to acquire on rebuilders. If you find yourself legitimately contending, and we're not worried about some super team out that's going to hold you off the championship, what are you looking to do? What are your early season moves that you would typically look for? Are you trying to make a move early, or are you trying to sit back and see how the season goes?
I've got a general rule of thumb as far as being a contender that I try and stick to as much as possible. For first and second round rookie picks, those should be used to go and win your league. Third and below should be used to not lose. What do I mean by that? Let's say Dynasty League, let's say Superflex. I literally just did this yesterday. I have 2 hammer quarterbacks. I have Jaden Daniels and I have Josh Allen. I have no one else besides like Jameis Winston. I went and sold a third for Joe Flacco.
Okay.
He's, in a pickle. I feel comfortable starting him as long as he's starting. I've seen him in Stefanski's system. I've seen him be productive. But that's not necessarily the type of move that, is going to propel me to the championship, but it's going to keep me in the playoff hunt. It's going to keep me starting a quarterback in my super flex instead of, my wide receiver 6 or whatever.
And if I'm reading your strategy correctly, buys you time to spend your first and second to replace any lost production.
Yeah. Like if I'm spending a first, let's say I have Tet. I got a bad team's first last year. I got Tet. I have a first. I'm looking for that absolute top tier. I'm looking for Brian Thomas Jr. I'm looking for Puka. I'm looking for Nico. If I can't get that, I'm still considering Lad McConkey. I'm considering Drake London. I'm even considering AJ Brown because I'm trying to win.
AJ Brown, 28 years old.
Yep. Because here's the thing.
His AARP card is already in the mail.
I know, but here's the thing. It doesn't start with a 3, and I think he's one of these guys that it doesn't matter. I really do. There's just certain guys that are just freaks. Derrick Henry, just like everyone is like, oh my God, Saquon rushed for 2,000 yards last year. Derrick Henry ran for 1,900 something, like at 31 years old. And he honestly didn't get that much usage. I think he played like 56% of the snaps or something in total. Like they were.
And how much did he give up to Lamar Jackson rushing?
Like he didn't even really hit even close to his ceiling on touchdowns. Like I think AJ Brown's kind of built the same way, where like he's a physical freak. He doesn't really rely on like speed to win now. He relies on technique and strength, and those don't really like fade away into your early 30s. It's not like Tyreek, where it's like, if you stop being fast, what are you?
And
it's
do you know, is AJ Brown the one that wears the pink cleats?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my Riz King right there.
Exactly. But
you cannot go against that.
225-pound receivers don't grow on trees.
No.
And he's probably going to continue being an Eagle for a while. And even if he's not, whoever's trading for him is going to trade for him to be their number 1 receiver. Like he's never going to just get usurped by someone. So that's the type of guy where it's like, I know that it's somewhat in theory a poison pill of this guy is going to probably decline in value. But if I'm going for a championship, AJ Brown can score 40 points in the championship week very easily. And that's the type of guy that I want on my team.
Yeah, that's 10 points for each edge of the walker?
Yep.
Oh, man. Yeah. So, guys, don't get tripped into this, old players are terrible mantra. Like, those are the guys you can go win a league with. Don't be afraid. Honestly, like, I really enjoy selling off my rookie shares on the true contenders. We don't know what they're going to be. We haven't had a big enough sample yet.
Yeah.
Ted Aroa. My bad, Mr. McMillan. I did not mean to do you dirty like that. We don't know if he's going to actually be that legit X receiver. Like, he looks the part so far, but all we've seen are a couple routes in preseason. We've seen him in practice. there's just so much unknown. I'm absolutely willing to, especially like you get a guy like, say, Travion Henderson that has just blown up in preseason and training camp.
Yeah.
I am 100% trading Travion Henderson for one of like the top producing running backs right now. Like if I can get Travion Henderson and a first and trade that away to get Ashton Genty, like I know it's another rookie, but one of these guys was like very close to the generational scale.
Yeah.
Like I'm doing that kind of thing. If I can get, Travion Henderson for Saquon Barkley straight up because of the age gap, like I'm doing that. We don't know what Henderson's going to be when defenses are actually putting pressure on the Patriots.
Yeah.
We know he's fast. It's about all we know right now. We know he can catch the ball.
Yep.
And we know that Josh McDaniels likes running backs that can catch the ball. But we haven't seen that all marry together yet. So let people take that like absolute up, like top of the line value for him and pay you that. I think Emeka Egbuka is another one that like people just don't see any chance that he could miss. And it's like, I agree. He looks like he's going to be a very, very good player. But if I can trade Emeka Egbuka and get an AJ Brown, take AJ Brown all day. Let the rebuilders have Emeka Egbuka and hope that he becomes AJ Brown.
Yeah.
Let them hope that inside that mystery box is a boat.
Yep. You know who else can't miss last year? Marvin Harrison Jr., Rome Odunze. Guess who missed? We don't know how badly. They could just be good, but I don't think either of them are up there. They're not Justin Jefferson. Like they were drafted like thinking they could be. Like those are the kind of guys. If I'm a contender and I have them, I'm moving them right now. Like I'm not gonna roll the dice on what if they take the jump. Go get someone who already did.
Yes, go get your guaranteed production. I want the guys who the only way they're not going to produce is if they get injured, and we can't predict injuries. Like honestly, this year I'm going to go get CMC on contenders because people are scared. He's getting older. He just completely got people last year when they didn't fully disclose that injury. It just left bad taste in people's mouths. So he is undervalued.
Yep.
Period.
Go get Bijan. People are bored of him. Like, I don't know why, but they're bored of him.
I don't understand that, but I like people like Gibbs more than Bijan, and I'm like,
it's like 24 points per game is boring now.
I don't get it, but go get these guys that are going to produce.
Yep.
Build that as the core of your Hoberman sphere that you're putting together, packing your starting lineup, and then just spend what it takes to win.
Yeah.
That's also one thing I would say is don't be afraid to overpay as a contender. If you spend your first to get that one extra player that's going to put you over the top, and then you get in close to the trade deadline and there's another team that's been keeping up with you all season, go send a first for one of their key players. Like, hurt their roster, help your roster. It's 1 year's first. In your leagues, generally, how many times the buy-in does the winner get?
It's usually the way that I've seen it split up is in 10-person, it's usually 60-30. Third place gets the buy-in back. Let's say everything's $100. 12-person, it's more of like a 75% ish of they do 75-20 and the other person gets 5% or something like that. So
you're getting somewhere 7 to 9 years to rebuild your squad. To give up the extra first 2 years out. Do it. Just do it. Win the championship, completely tank for 2 years, and then you'll be right back in the mix. do not be afraid to just have these wild swings in your roster from year to year.
Yeah.
Don't just try and do this. This isn't what, it's not the stock market where everything goes up. It's comes up, you make sure you get to the top.
Yep.
And then it doesn't matter if you free fall.
You're
all right.
You're trying to be Bitcoin. You're not trying to be a meme coin. Like,
Bingo.
You want to crush. You want to set the ceiling. You don't
Get
want
the glory and get out.
Yep.
All right, guys. I think that'll do it for today. We went a little bit long after we got started late. Thank you all for tuning in. I wish everybody a happy draft weekend. Go crush those redraft drafts. I know we've all got those home leagues. Enjoy the long weekend for Memorial Day. Wait, Labor Day. I always get those two confused. Labor Day in the fall. Yep. But yeah, check out all of our stuff. If you have questions, reach out to us on Blue Sky. You can find me at FF Philosopher. Call me Will on there. Call me Philosopher, whatever. Ask you questions. I'm happy to engage there. Happy to give my opinion on things. Happy to tell you my thought process. So feel free to reach out. Tim, where can the people reach you?
They can find me at Tim Holstad at Blue Sky as well. And we are both in the Fantasy Now Plus Discord. Join that if you want to talk ball, have questions. A lot of good folks in there in the industry.
And lots of bad jokes.
Yeah, lots of opinions. We do have another question if you wanted to hit on that before.
Oh, what do we got? Oh, yep. Okay, one parting shot. We've got Allen Irving, Rashi Rice, Worthy, Pickens, Pollard, Jacoby Myers. Okay. 58th overall. Okay.
Yeah, and he asked above thoughts.
Thoughts on Jacoby.
Yep.
I really liked Jacoby until, what was it, like a week and a half ago when he demanded a trade.
Yeah.
I don't think he's got the leverage to be pulling that stuff. I think he deserves a pay boost. So, like, I get why he did it, but I can't see this going well. He's got, I got to call him a boomer head coach. Pete Carroll, like one of the old, granted, he's got energy. So, like,
yeah,
I'm kind of glad to get him back. I feel like he bounces around on the sideline more than some of the guys, but he's old. He's a boomer. These things matter to coaches like that. They're not going to go out of their way to scheme something up if they don't see you putting in the FaceTime. This is the type of guy that you got to be first in, last out every day.
Yeah.
Demanding a trade right before the season. It's tough. He's a good player. Given the roster you've got there, I would not be afraid to package him up and sell him for a more surefire piece.
Yeah. I'd say, like, you have a lot of good depth receivers as keepers, but there are no hammers really. Like, you hope Rashi Rice is, but you have an automatic 0 for 6 games from him. So it's hard to really say, like, he's a wide receiver 1 for you. I think Myers is fine. He's still the number 2 option on the Raiders this year. I definitely don't think Amari Cooper changed that. I don't really think the trade request is going to change that because there's no one talented enough to just supplant him.
Yeah.
From a dynasty perspective, he's one of these perfect guys that we're talking about. He's kind of a roster clogger. I mean, like, he's a flex option,
a top end roster clogger.
Like, he's a flex option. He's approaching 30. He might already be 30. I don't even remember.
He's not there yet.
Yeah, but, like, he's not going to rise in value even if he's traded. Like, he is not going to score 30 points in a week and win you anything. He's just going to get you a nice solid 10 to 15 every week. And there's a place for that, and it's not on a rebuilder, and it's really not on a contender either. If you're contending, you're wanting more than that. You want a bigger hammer than that.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, good question.
Yeah, I'm with you. That's a tough spot for sure. I do like the guys you mentioned in your next comment, Kyle. Swift, Ridley, Egbuka. I think all three of those have pretty good upside this year. I'd be a little bit worried about Swift. I feel like he probably is one of those guys that falls into that like dead zone running back category. It's like we kind of know who Swift is. I think he got like kind of a new buff shine with Ben Johnson coming in.
Who hates him?
I just don't know, because like I don't see anyone behind him that I'm worried about. But
doesn't mean he's good.
Yeah, exactly. So I would probably lean Ridley or Egbuka there. But I mean, you got the right idea with players there. So
yep, I would shoot for Egbuka specifically. You want upside. You want someone who could become a hammer. And with Godwin probably missing the first month of the season, like he could just start out hot. I would look at Matthew Golden as well, maybe in like the next round after that.
Cool. All right, guys. Well, before we get to an hour, we'll go ahead and wrap up here. Thank you again for tuning in. Make sure you check us out every Saturday. Go visit the website, fantasynowplus.com. We've got tons and tons of content. And if you have not, please like and subscribe below, both on Fantasy Now Plus and for Finn's Talk Sports Extra. Hit those buttons, people. It helps us, and we love it. You love us, we love you. Happy, happy circle. All right, guys. Until next week, we will see you later. This has been Dynasty in 30.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to like and subscribe wherever you watch or listen to podcasts. We'll be back next week for more ways to win your league.